This is what's happened with the election, okay? The Republicans are freaking the fuck out. Republicans are panicking about Pennsylvania, right? Which seems innocuous. It's a close election. Well, certainly they're going to panic to that degree a little bit. Unless it's Jaden in the box, you're going to wait. But Republicans are panicking about Pennsylvania. We see it all over the news. Notice how they're pointing to fraud in Pennsylvania already? I think I've figured out what's happened. I think that Republicans' models, I think they read Mirage themselves. I think that the Republicans read Mirage themselves. So they're panicked out of Pennsylvania. Why? Because the women vote is showing up at greater rates. And also the infrequent voter is dropping off on a significant degree, right? There are more infrequent voters this election. Okay? Donald, you have to understand this to understand what's happening. Donald Trump took his campaign and he said, we're not going to do that. I'm pretty sure that with minimal ground game, I can get the same amount of people out to vote or very similar. Here's what we'll do. We'll go and take our money and resources. We'll stack that shit online and we'll target low frequency voters, lower medium propensity, and low voters. And we'll get them out to the polls. There's just one fucking problem. There's a reason that nobody targets that group because they don't show up to vote. Okay? So Democrats had this huge surge early on, and then Republicans started surging, and now it started tapering off. And there's a big and enormous gap between men and women out of Pennsylvania. From my estimates, okay, the Democrats right now have a 511,000 ballot lead just between Democrats and Republicans out of Pennsylvania. That is not including independents. That is not including Republicans. A lot of people, okay, have been speculating that the Republicans are prepping people to act in the event that they lose this election, that they don't actually think that they can win it. I don't think that's true. There's no real evidence of that. If that were true, they would have gone mask off after the thing. I think they did that rally. I think that the moves that they have made are because they fundamentally believe that it was going to be a blowout. And I have been hearing as such from inside the Trump camp, that they believe that this election is going to be a blowout. That's what their thought was. And so the only thing that I can think, right, is that everything that I have talked to you guys about on here as having like a statistical significance or collectively a statistical significance, Harris's advantage. We talked about it last night. They didn't factor any of that in. I think that they thought 2016 was relatively accurate in the polls. 2020 was relatively accurate in the polls. And as a result, the polls are showing us now Donald Trump is getting out that base of low propensity voters. Okay? That's what they thought, because on paper, there are more. What they never fucking considered is that those low propensity voters are, if not as likely to show up against Donald Trump as Republicans as they are to for or more. So they built their model. This is fucking hilarious. I've been laughing like for 2 hours. They built their model based on low propensity voters showing up. And those have tapered off. And the women gap is still enormous. So they're realizing in real time, oh fuck, our models are wrong. That's why they've reacted the way they have in Pennsylvania. That's why they're saying it's fraud. Is that they're realizing right now that all of those things that I've pointed out for like fucking 6, 7, 8 months, 9, a year now, their fucking teams of fucking PhD stats guys, their teams of people with PhDs in political science and fucking incredible credentials fucking missed it. I genuinely think they thought 2022 was an anomaly. They thought, okay, we'll deal with the political pressure of ending Roe. Sure. Okay, we dealt with it. Now we don't have to deal with it anymore. And they thought the modeling was going to go back to 2020. That it was going to be very similar to that. And they're finding out right now in real time that that's not the fucking case. They may have this exterior like they're going to win, but it's been breaking down, specifically in Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, they've realized, oh fuck, our models aren't working. This isn't right. We're wrong. And so they're adjusting their models and they're going, fuck, if we don't get men out to vote, we're going to lose. Their problem here, okay, is we're going to watch them start realizing this in real time. They're going to start losing it in real time. Right now, they think they have advantages in Arizona and New Mexico. Those are going to disappear. They think that this has been isolated to Pennsylvania. They have not put 2 and 2 together and been like, fuck, this is going to go on throughout the Midwest. It's a good thing you guys follow me. I don't think that they genuinely considered that any of those things that I said were going to be an issue would actually be an issue. I think that they saw those numbers come in and it fulfilled their belief. It was a fucking confirmation bias. That those low frequency voters, that their plot to get them out to vote was working. And it's not. Who are you going to call? My dude. I think that we're about to right now watch as the Republicans realize that their modeling for the states is fucking trash. It's garbage. It's not even remotely thinking. And so for me, I'm sitting here going like, what the fuck am I missing? Right? Because I've been like super like, oh, I don't know. Like, I want to call it for Harris, but there's a chance. It's because those guys are fucking professionals. They do this for a fucking living. I'm like, how the fuck are they going to miss shit that I can see? They missed it. They missed it. They didn't fucking see it at all. They didn't account for it. And so now we're watching as they're panicking in Pennsylvania. All because they didn't tune into my dude. They're panicking across Pennsylvania. This hasn't carried over to other states yet. Not yet. It will. It absolutely will. I'm flabbergasted because my whole reasoning for why I was suspect was like, well, the numbers aren't really coming in our favor yet, or at least the numbers that we need, which is the urban vote. It looks like they're going to come in. Why wouldn't they come in? Of course, Democratic turnout's not collapsed. The enthusiasm gap is way fucking higher. I just thought, hey, if I'm thinking this, and there are guys on the other side that seem to be wildly overconfident about this, maybe I've got something wrong. Maybe I did something wrong in my calculation. No, not at all. They fucking didn't see it. And so now they're panicked. They're freaking out over Pennsylvania. They thought they had it in the bag. They thought that they were going to be able to rely on low propensity voters showing up, even though they never have. There's a reason nobody targets that group, because we've been talking for like fucking ever now. I don't know. Where does the guy get more votes from? Where does he get more votes? They're realizing it, and it's going to be fun to watch over the next few days. We might not get a lot of it, but you can tell like the last 2 days they've been reworking their models. Because they are panicked about Pennsylvania. I don't know if they've considered for a second that they're going to lose the Midwest. But as of right now, I think it was just sheer overconfidence. And I think they made these plans, and then the last couple of days, because they went to New Mexico, they went to Virginia, and I think they're like realizing now, like, oh fuck, we fucked up, which is fucking crazy, because this is exactly what Steve Bannon, good thing he wasn't let out of prison earlier. Steve Bannon told them, go to the Midwest. What the fuck are you doing? When Hillary went to Arizona, when Hillary started going to Nevada, they were like, what are you doing? Like, our polls are way better in the Midwest. So they went to the Midwest and they won. That's how they won the election. They sent him to the Midwest. That's the whole strat in 2016. Send him to the Midwest. And it worked. He got people amped out to vote. At the same time, this is a reverse 2020. But it's worse now because all of the fucking momentum, all of the advantage is on Harris's side. And all of the fucking Republicans have not only convinced themselves as a voting bloc that they don't really need to vote because it's a done deal, and the Democrats are freaked the fuck out. It's like a perfect storm. If like half of the things that I have said come true, which I think that's like a low number, it's a fucking landslide. This is going to be fun over the next few days, though, watching them in real time. It's going to be a shock. I had some, for a while there, I was like, well, am I wrong? Like, certainly, like I have to be seeing, we've watched Nate Silver shift. We've watched the Republicans in Pennsylvania shift. We've watched Trump shift. No, they're freaking the fuck out because they thought they were going to win in a blowout. And their models are proven to be fucking way wrong. Way fucking wrong. I fucking love this for them. I love this on every level. Every fucking level. And I spent like the last hour just laughing about it intermittently. It's like these fucking guys, they're like, can you imagine sitting in that fucking, they're like, oh fuck. Oh shit, those numbers. But I think the reason they didn't make any adjustments, which is beautiful, is because of their fucking hubris. Their hubris. They didn't make any adjustments because they thought they were right. And so when numbers started coming in that favored them, they didn't question them. They didn't say, well, is this good for us? Is this bad for us? I've questioned, like, are these numbers good or are these numbers bad for us? Some numbers I won't even put in the factor as being potentially good for us. I think they saw low frequency voters show up and they said, oh, our plan worked. Our strategy of targeting low propensity voters worked. And my suspicion is that if not most of them, if not a lot of them, enough of them are Republicans that didn't show up in 2020. And they're fucking done with Trump. I don't think that breakdown is going to come back in their favor. I think they're fucked. I think they're fucked. They fucking read Mirage themselves. They saw it come in. They're like, oh, that looks really good. That looks really good. That looks really good. And never fucking questioned it. Anyways, I want to say that I'm feeling very, very fucking confident about a Harris landslide. I would put that probably as the most likely scenario. All signs point to it, and the fact that the Republicans are buckling on their modeling, on their prediction, and they're seeing it now, what I have been seeing and what other people have been seeing forever. Donald Trump's in serious fucking trouble. And I just want to point out, not only is Pennsylvania moving in Harris's favor, the Democrats there have a 511,000 vote firewall when you adjust for cannibalized same-day voters. Meaning that's the total advantage. 511,000. Do you know what the comfortable win for Harris was? Do you guys know what the estimated comfortable win for Harris was in Pennsylvania? 400 to 475,000. That means as of right now, she's outperforming that number by something like 40,000 votes. That's before you account for independents, and that's before you account for Republicans. So the firewall, Democrats show up in early, because someone asked. Democrats show up in early. They vote, right? Democrats vote at a higher rate early. And they build up what's called a firewall, meaning that the Republicans have to come in on same day, and they have to overperform that by whatever ballots the Democrats rack up. Right? There's no way to create an exact amount, but it's an approximation, right? So the Democrats right now are up by 511,000, 40,000 more than they need for the highest estimates on a comfortable Pennsylvania win. That's before you account for same day young people show up, specifically young women. I have not factored in Dem to rep crossover too, but reps are more likely to vote for Dem by about 4 points. And independents are more likely to vote for Dem. I thought I saw a 60-40 split in the early vote, so I don't know. It could be that the Democrats are up by 700,000 or more ballots right now out of Pennsylvania. The number I have right now is at least 511,000. Listen. I think Harris is going to win by 4 points. I think it might be more than that even. I think she might pull a Fetterman. It might even be higher. I think she wins by 4 points or more. I think that the Republicans severely underestimated the effect that Roe was going to have. They thought that it would be a midterm issue and it wouldn't carry over. That's proving not to be true. They misjudged everything. They misjudged everything, and they're about to go into the election with 4 fucking days left. They misjudged everything. And we're going to start watching them realize it in real time.